All right, ladies, we are live. Welcome to Woman to Woman. We have Dr. Nikki Jones in the building. And
Hey.
pronounce your name again, Miss Jo.
Nadege.
Nadege
Yes.
with us tonight. I love that name. I just like
Thank
Nadege.
you. Thank you. I know, right? I mean, the funny thing is people, I think at some point the little mark over my E fell off, to make it more exotic. And I was like, I need to bring it back. I need to bring
Bring that accent
I need
over
to
the
bring
E
the accent
back.
back. Yeah.
Right?
Bring it back.
Yes.
So we are very happy that you're joining us tonight.
Thank you.
We kind of want to jump into it. I know Nikki has some things going on, so we're gonna get to going here.
Okay.
So we want to welcome you to Woman,
Thank you.
and just give us a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, like I said, my name is Nadege. I am originally from Haiti, where I was born. I grew up in Boston. I lived there almost my whole life, and I've been in Texas on and off. I want to say about 14 years.
Okay.
So I've lived in Jersey Village, Katy, and I currently live in Hockley. So yeah,
Oh,
I work
beautiful.
in
Okay.
HR.
Been
So
around here.
right, I live there. Like, where do you live? What is that? Where is that?
I
So
work.
yeah,
I work near Jersey Village. I work at
okay,
Sci-Fair High School, so I know that area
okay,
pretty well.
yeah. My
So
son went to
yeah.
Cy Falls. My son graduated from Cy Falls.
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah,
really?
you did. You
That's a good.
did.
I love
Yeah.
Sci-Fair. Just gonna
So
say.
yeah, so I worked in it. I work in HR, recruiting and all things HR. And so, but I think my passion has been nonprofit for the past 10. I've worked in nonprofit probably about 20 years, but for the past 10 years, I've been really focused on a nonprofit called Innovative Learning Concepts,
Mhm.
or ILC. So ILC is based in Haiti, but it's operating in the US. So what we do is we have a couple of parts into that program where I also teach English. I'm an ESL teacher. I teach the high intermediate class. So by
Okay.
the time the students come to me, they know enough about English. And being someone who did not speak English, because English is not my first language, I have a deeper understanding and appreciation for teaching someone how to speak and how to understand, because sometimes my kids will make fun of me if I'm excited or I'm mad, and you could hear the accent come through. And
Mhm.
sometimes I don't pronounce the words properly. So I feel like I'm the best person to teach that because I'm like, yeah, English is hard. You'll make mistakes. Don't think it's perfect, especially if
Right.
you're thinking in other languages. So I still think in all three languages. Um, so we do that. We also teach them IT. We teach them, how to really learn and evolve with all the culture, because English is such a wide known language,
Mhm.
and now with everybody working online, learning English, you don't have to be in the U.S. to work. So that's one of the
Right.
things we are teaching them. And there's another section where it is strictly for women, which is where my passion is. Young women from the ages of 21, from 11 to 26. So
Mhm.
Okay.
it's called Mille Ballet au Féminin, also MIAF. So MIAF is basically where we get the young girls, we try to teach them about themselves. When you're a young girl, you don't know what's going on with you. So we try to teach them, hygiene, and I also help them with reading. So actually right now I'm doing a 4-part campaign for them because I was in Haiti recently. I went back after 25 years. I
Oh,
went to
wow.
Haiti and I got to meet my students and I got to be around them. So one of the things that I came out with was the 4-point program for them. The first one is the hygiene products. So I have been collecting. Even my daughter is involved. She goes to University of Houston, so she is involved with me collecting feminine products. Pads and body wash, shampoo, deodorant, things like that for them. Also, easy to read English books. We're doing that. And they showed a big interest in crochet. I was like, okay, we'll get you some crochet supplies. So I'm doing
Good.
that. And then in January we are launching our mentor program.
Oh,
So what we're
Wow.
trying to do is the girls who have taken my class, who I feel have a stronger English, um, they're able to connect in English a little better than the others, will be matched with mentors who have the same, basically the same. They're connected. So there's one girl who loves to sew. My mother is a retired fashion designer, so I am connecting them so that she can get points. Because my mom used to work in Manhattan, she designed clothes for all these stores, and she's my personal
Okay.
fashion designer. So, and then my daughter, who is she sometimes teaches for me when I'm if I'm busy, I'll say, "Can you take my class?" She's into makeup and hair and things like that. So there's a girl who likes to do that. So I'm connecting. So it's basically connecting girls with people with the same passion to kind of walk along them. It's a year-long program starting in January, and I'm asking the mentors to basically promise 1 hour a month. It doesn't have to be a big, a lot of things. But if you want to do more, that's fine. But it's just, walking along them, talking to them, coaching them, helping them to kind of figure out the right path, whether
Okay.
it's to open their own business, whether it's to something that they can do as a side business, or, whatever the aspect is, just something to give them, to empower them. Because, when you are empowered and you are passionate about something you do, you you feel like, yeah, I can do this. If I can do this, I can do this. And it's just helping them kind of be better. And that's something that I'm very passionate about, making sure that women are empowered, because we are beasts,
We are.
All
So
powerful. Absolutely.
it's like, don't limit
Absolutely.
yourselves. Don't limit yourselves. Go out there and just, do whatever God put on your heart. And the one thing that I'm doing is I'm doing it afraid. I may be terrified, but I'm doing it anyway, because
There you go.
without, because it's, if you don't try, you'll never know.
That's true.
So, and
That's so very true.
that's what we're teaching them to do, to just be fearless, and just regardless of. And one of the things that I came away with was Haiti's in a big turmoil right now, with the, I don't know if you're watching the news, with everything that's going on with the Dominican Republic, the safety issues and all that. And even regardless of all of that, sitting and talking to them, the passion that they have, the hope that
Mhm.
they have really touched my heart. And I'm like, okay, what can I do? How can I help? So it really left me, because I'm thinking about it. I said, this could have been me. Had I stayed there, this could have been me. So the fact that they're still passionate about wanting more than what they have, their
Mhm.
environment and their circumstances have not defeated them, and they're not feeling like, oh, there's nothing I can do. They're like, okay, I want to do something because I want more. So that really inspired me, to be honest. So
Okay. Is your mom in Haiti?
no, I don't have any family in Haiti. Everybody's here.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Okay. So I guess we can kind of dive into the questions, Brand, if you want.
Yeah,
I'll
you
right. It's almost a lot. So, but I want to know, just because I love traveling international. So,
Yes.
how was it growing up in Haiti?
Growing up was beautiful, honestly. When you don't know anything else, it's a wake up every day, it's sunny, you never cold. I never needed a coat.
Oh,
And so I lived in the city with my godmother who raised me. But in the summertime, I got to go to the country, to my grandparents' house. That's where the fun was.
what country in
okay.
Haiti? Y'all got a countryside in Haiti?
Yes, we do. We have countrysides, and we have the city. The cities where, we got the cars and all this, like a normal city. But in the
Right.
country, it's quieter. There's like a river you can go to. There's this, it was a very peaceful childhood, and my grandparents spoiled me to no end. So I got to do whatever I wanted. So it
Okay.
was great. I went to a private Catholic school. Um, I have to say I was very sheltered and pampered, because I, I never wanted for anything. So
Mhm.
I didn't know anything other than going to school, coming home, being tutored, and watching TV and doing my homework. So and playing with the kids until the sun came up. I mean, was going down. So
Uh-huh.
it was a good. The only thing missing was that I didn't have siblings. So the
Oh,
kids
okay.
around were my friends, and so I kind of was always playing outside, and I enjoyed it. I don't think we ever really stayed inside unless there was something going on TV, because we played from sun up to sundown. We played outside. So
Okay.
I
yeah.
mean, the weather was nice.
Oh
So
my gosh,
Right.
beautiful
Not being
all year
cold.
round.
Yes.
we were talking about her transition from Haiti to what, Long Island, when you
Yes,
originally moved here. So you want
yes.
to share that, the culture shock, the weather shock, like all of that was
Oh,
a lot coming from a tropical area, and then here you
yeah.
are in New York. So how was
Right.
that for you?
Oh my goodness. I think I'm still traumatized years later. So, like I was saying earlier, so my parents were in the US. So my father is an army vet. He was stationed in Germany. So they felt that the best thing was for me to be stable because, always moving around, they didn't want that. So at some point, there was some safety issues, and my grandmother felt it was best that they came and brought me to the US. And so my father, because he was a US citizen in the army, and back in those days when you were a child of a US citizen, you automatically had US citizenship. So the process was very short for me to come. And it was like a 4-day process. My father came, we went to talk to somebody, and next thing you know, I'm gonna, they're like, okay, she's gonna go. So, and I went to church one Sunday morning, and in the afternoon I was on a plane. So there was not a lot of time to kind of say goodbye to anybody. I didn't get because it was doing Christmas break. So I didn't get to see my friends at school. I didn't get to say goodbye. So it was hard. And so I was on a plane. I was terrified. It was my first time away from home, from everything that I grew up with. So, and I didn't have a suitcase, so I didn't get to bring my favorite things. So my father was like, she doesn't need anything, just put on a plane. I was like, okay. That doesn't make sense.
How old were you at that time?
I was 13.
13.
At the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I remember being on the plane. I didn't speak the language, and they were asking, chicken or fish. And I was like, I don't know what that is. No, it was chicken or beef. And I was like, I don't know what either of those things are. So because I could ask to eat, I could ask to use the bathroom. I was terrified of it all. So my father, when I got off the plane, they walked me, because I was sitting in first class with the little tag around my neck with my passport in it and things. So the flight attendant walked me out, and my dad was waiting for me. So, and the doors opened, and all I saw was white, and then I had this gush of cold. And so I had on this summer little 2-piece outfit and slide-on shoes. And I stepped out. I said, "What punishment is this?" I looked at my dad. I was like, what is this? So he had this coat that he just threw over my shoulders. And, it's like, I didn't know. I was like, what is this? I'd never worn a coat before. So I didn't know to put my hands in and zip it up and do all that. So I just stepped in and I stepped outside. Listen, there was a snowstorm in New York. So I stepped out and I put my foot in the snow, and I lifted my foot, and my shoe stayed behind.
So you never experienced snow or anything?
I had never, ever. I mean, I saw it on TV. Because we got to see American TVs in French in Haiti, because of course, it's
a language. It was a language difference as well.
Big language difference. Everybody's talking, and it was a busy airport. So I came on a Sunday. I'll never forget. It was a Sunday after Christmas, and so there were Christmas lights and all that white stuff. And my dad was walking to the car, and I'm like, I can't walk because I was freezing. And it's like you got to keep moving. If you don't keep moving, you're going to freeze. So it's like, and I'm crying, and there's like tears coming, and I could feel like ice on my face, because I'm like, you need to put me on that plane and send me home, because this is not it. So yeah, it was terrifying. And I was sleeping in a strange bed when I got to my father's house. He went to work and left me home, and I was like, oh, what is happening? What did I do to deserve this? So it was hard. It was extremely hard to process. And then, of course, because I came at the time that I came, then school was another adventure to be, so I had to be enrolled in school, and people, I didn't speak the language. People didn't speak my language. So, and because I was now in Long Island, New York. So I remember they put me, I went to Findlay Junior High, and I was the only kid who did not speak English in a class full of people who spoke only English. So yeah, it was hard. It was hard. And so I made up my mind. I said, okay, this is swim or sink, because nobody understood what I needed. I couldn't go to lunch. I couldn't get on the bus. I didn't know how. I couldn't read the signs, and it gives you an idea of what it's like to not know how to read or write, because I felt like, I was like, I know how to read, but I can't read this stuff. So they put me in a class with a teacher who kind of spoke French, but I was like, I don't know what French you speak, but that's not my French. So it was hard to communicate. It was hard to, and the kids, they made fun of me because I dressed differently. I spoke differently. I looked, because you're in Long Island. You do the math.
There's not very many of you.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah, so it was hard. It was hard, but I decided that I had to learn the language. So I just, I would watch television. I remember I watched a lot of cartoons. I watched Sesame Street was my favorite because I had a 2-year-old brother because I met
Okay.
my brother at the time who was 2. And so we would watch cartoons together, watch Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, all these things. So it took me less than 6 months to really start to understand and to put words together to form a sentence. So it was a long process, and eventually, I was like, okay, oh, I understood that. Oh, I got that. Oh, I could answer that. So it kind of started to click in place for me. But
So in
yeah,
Haiti, is that not an option to learn English?
it is an option, but I think back then it wasn't as popular as it is
As it is
now.
now.
Okay.
So now it is more widespread. Everybody's learning English, and everybody
Mhm.
speaks English for the most part. But I think at the time it was spoken, but not as people would say a couple of words. I know how to say my name is, you know, things like that. But it wasn't enough to carry a conversation. So
Got you.
I
Got you.
think my question is, when you said that you were placed in a class, I know if you're familiar with
yeah,
Sci-Fair and the school
mhm,
district, maybe, I'm not sure,
yeah,
but
I am.
we have a class called NAT where our
Mhm,
students, when they come from another country, they're placed in that class for a year.
mhm.
Was that the type of class that you were placed in?
No.
No.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
placed with all the other students. There was no ESL, there was no special class. It was
Oh
just,
wow.
this is where you go and deal with it.
And
Because I don't think
work it out at
right?
13.
Honestly, I don't think they ever experienced somebody coming in who didn't speak the language. So it
Mhm.
was a new thing for them as well as for me because they were confused. They were like, "What do you mean she doesn't speak English?" So it was just a matter of I would go to the class every day. I would just follow. If I saw somebody familiar in the class, I'd just follow. I was like, "Well, I guess that's where I need to go next." So it wasn't. There was no one to hold my hand to be like, "Okay, this is where you go. This is what you do." And I would go to lunch. I didn't know how to ask for food.
Mhm.
So I would just get in line and then point to what I wanted. So
Mhm.
it was hard.
Oh,
It was
wow.
very hard.
So I think what I would like to know is,
Yes.
what do you feel would be a huge need for children in Haiti, like right now, as of today, during the turmoil that's going on? What's the need for kids out there?
I think the biggest thing would be just for them to know they're not alone.
Mm,
Because when you go through things and people nobody's reaching out, nobody's checking on you, nobody's making sure that you're okay. So one of the things that I do is that with my students, I use WhatsApp. So I always reach out,
okay.
especially when everything was going crazy. I would reach out and say, "Hey, are you okay?" Send me a emoji, something, let me know that you are okay. I think
Yeah.
it's just making sure that and asking them, "What do you need?" And that's one of the reasons I'm doing the drive for the feminine products and the body wash and things like that, because these are the things that they don't have access to. It's not easily accessible. So
Oh,
those are the things that, because the school where we have ILC, it's a school. So if we have that in the school, and one of the things that I ask the ladies to do is put together little care packages. So if
Hmm.
a young woman comes to the school, just give her one,
right.
and it can be very
Yeah.
discreet. There's gonna be pads in it, there's gonna be deodorant in it, there's gonna be a body wash, shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash. So things like that they may not have access to, but they know they can come to the school and get that, as well
Okay.
as pick up a book, that they can follow with. And we offer English classes from beginning to my class, which is the high intermediate. So you don't have to speak English to go to the school. You can
Hmm.
go there, and of course, helping financially is a big thing because the school, it's a nonprofit. So we definitely we're always looking for support for people, although we do apply for grants. Sometimes it's not enough. So the school is it's all volunteers. I'm the chairperson for the board, and it's all volunteer. And I tell them it's a labor of love. I love what I
It
do.
is.
I love the fact that I get to help. I love the fact that I'm making a difference in the lives of women who, again, could have been me. So,
Yeah.
I go hard for them, whatever I need to do. Because last year at this time, actually today, it came up on my Facebook. I was in Beverly Hills doing a presentation for the nonprofit because we were looking for help financially. So it's a matter of just trying to get people to understand that yes, 80s. in a bad situation right now. But we still have kids who need our help. We still have kids who are scared to go to school. We still have kids who are not safe. I got a call 2 days ago from one of my contacts in Haiti where 12 girls were kidnapped and raped on camera. And so,
Wow.
yeah. So the people who did it, it was like a group of men. They covered their faces, but they didn't cover the girls' faces.
Oh,
And so, and they distributed the video. So when something like that happens, the women are gonna be the one not just traumatized, but maybe even their families will turn against them, their friends, you know what I'm saying? So it's a matter of there's not going to be a lot of understanding. And one
right.
of the things that my contact said to me was, we're trying to figure out who the girls are because we know there's going to be suicides, because there's going to be girls who are not, I said,
They're
it's
not
like
going to have the counseling that they need to
exactly,
handle such a
exactly,
traumatic experience in their life.
exactly. And they
So
were
where
young
are the
girls.
authorities at during this time? Like, do y'all is the authorities like big out there or
The authorities have no authority. Let's just put it that
Yeah.
way, because
really?
it's being, the country is basically has been taken over. I was in Haiti. Let me give you an example. I went to Haiti with the executive director. This was my first time. I was excited to go. I was, we tried to take precaution. We flew through the Dominican Republic because it wasn't safe to fly into the capital.
Mhm.
So I went to the school. I was there for a few days, and unfortunately, something happened and the border was closed, so no one was allowed to leave.
Oh,
So now,
wow.
mind you, I had a flight.
Ooh,
I had to come to work. I had to come to home to my kids, and I was stuck in Haiti. So the only way to get out was illegally. We actually left the country through back roads because there was
Oh
no other way
my
to do that.
gosh.
So when you experience it firsthand, when somebody tells you what's going on, it's one thing. But when you go and you experience it in a way where your life was in danger, because one
Right.
of the things, as the only female in the group, one of the things that we're worried about was that I would be taken and raped. So I put my hair in a baseball cap. I had on a sweater. Like, I tried to kind of shrink myself as much as
Shrink yourself.
possible,
Yeah.
but they still saw me because they were asking, "What about her? What about her?" And I pretended I didn't understand what they were saying, so I just kept my head down. So it's knowing that even though I am one of them, I am Haitian. I was born there, even though I have an American passport. It still says, place of birth Haiti on it. Um,
Right.
it doesn't matter, because to them, you're not even human. So we have to make sure that people are aware of what's going on in the country and not only focused on there's so many bad things going on, yes, but there's also hope. We have young children who have hope. We have young children who want to do more. We have young
Right.
children. I met a little boy who's 4 years old, and I tell you, if I could adopt him today, I would. He
Mm.
was just an amazing, smart. And the one thing I kept thinking about is, how can I protect him? How can I capture this and make sure that he gets to have a life?
Mhm.
And those are the things
Wow.
that bothers me, because I feel like, yeah, even if I were to say, okay, I'll send money to his mother to help him. If he can't go to school, what good is that?
right.
If he's not safe
Right.
to leave his house, what good is that? So people are not understanding. One of the things my son said to me, he said, "Mom, maybe you should be the one to explain to people how important it is to support Haiti, because it's not about sending money to just organizations or whatever. If you can adopt a family, help a young girl, help somebody to say, we're here for you, we support you, what do you need, how can we help?" And just come alongside them and say, okay, I will be with you through this, and I'll check in on you, see how you are, and just have that. And if you can speak the language, that's fine. I'm here. Connect with me. I'll help out. You know what I'm saying? Just be
Right.
able to,
Yeah.
because we go home, we safe, because you don't have to worry about somebody breaking into your house and raping you. You know what I'm
Right.
Mhm.
saying? And
Right.
there's justice. If something happens, you can call the police, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's not an option for them.
Wow.
They have to
What
protect themselves.
what about orphanages out there? Is that something really big in Haiti?
Well, the orphanage was big in Haiti after the earthquake. And a lot of Americans went to, and they started orphanages out in Haiti. But one of the things that we realized, that it was not with good intentions. So there was some
That was my next
investigation where the kids were being abused, where they're being, they were taken from, they actually had parents and they were taking them, and there was a lot of sexual abuse going on, and there were some other things. So I think now there's a lot more restrictions. So I don't know if the orphanage situation is the same as it was. So I think it's more close knit. But a lot of the kids do have parents, but the situation is the parents can't take care of them. So my thing is, how come we don't have like a foster care system in the US to say, okay, I don't want to adopt you, but I want you to come here. I will foster you, help you to basically, grow up, go to school. And if you want to send for your parents later on, you can do that. But in the meantime, I will take care of you. So that's something that I think that everybody thinks adoption. Why not do something where there's a foster system where the child is allowed to come to the US, get an education, get whatever they need to, and then decide whether they want to stay or go back.
I think it probably has a lot to do with the government, though, because I was trying to put a program in Nigeria a few months ago, and I was talking to one of the ladies out there, and it was just very, very hard to really get someone to really communicate, to get on the same page. She was saying, like, out there, government overpowers, people that has like money. They pretty much kind of has like the power there. And she was like, where they were, there was very poor. So if they didn't have money, it was really nothing, you can do. So she was like, but it was a need. So, how do you foster a need if you really can't, get there? So another thing too, within the foster care system. So that's pretty much my background. So there is options, but I think what stops us in the States is the government over there. So my daughter, she was originally from Japan. So now she was actually brought from there to the States. So that's how she ended up in the States. So that is an option for them to come over, and they can do strictly foster. They don't have to automatically adopt. So here in the States, you can't just go out and, hey, I want to adopt this child. You have to foster for 6 months. And then, they have that period with like that probation period to make sure if it's a good fit. So I think if they knew that was a big need, but Texas has a huge need, right now, foster kids are floating everywhere. So bringing on a whole nother country, it would take a lot, but I could see that happening because actually there's a portal that I'm in, and some of the kids, I'm not sure, I don't know if they're from Haiti. I think one of them was from Portugal, but beautiful, beautiful kids. It makes you just, when you see them, make you fall in love. Like, I want that baby, And I'll adopt a bunch of kids. My husband's like, we're not doing all that. But and I saw two little Caucasian kids this morning, and I was like, look at these kids. They were 4 and 5. I was like, they're perfect, and they were so cute. But so I've always wondered how in different countries, I know a lot of people here, like churches that I used to be with, they would say, okay, we're going to build orphanages in, these third world countries. So I was always wondering, like, how did that work when it came to that? So, but I see where it is a lot of restrictions to it.
Yeah, it is. And I think, like you said, the government, I experienced it. It's about how much money you have and who do you know and who you can bribe. So if you have enough money to bribe, you can do pretty much anything.
I feel like this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
This kind of relates to what we were a novel we were reading in our class called Every Falling Star, and it was about a young man that was from North Korea, and basically his father lost rank in the Korean army, and they sent them to a camp, and like getting from Korea to China to safety was something like what you were describing. They had to disguise themselves, bribe people, and really the government is so in control in the other countries that it's hard for regular people to help and to create organizations that are really trying to help the orphans or help young women or even young men get out of the country that they're in. So I don't know. It's just, what have you seen these bigger organizations really do in Haiti? Have you seen them really do anything? Because I know at one point, after the earthquakes, everyone around the world was donating to Haiti.
A lot of money.
Like, did you see anything change as far as that go? Did you see change?
That look on her face
says no.
Well, No, I did not. I did not. I'm trying to be careful here, but
Yeah, I understand.
you know, the thing that the level of corruption is so deep that
Mm,
wanting to help and being able to help are two different
are two
things,
different things.
because you don't know, because you don't want to step on toes, and you don't want to, and you have to know the right people to be able to maneuver and do the things that you need to do. So I feel like even if some big organization were to help, you don't necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to the people that it needs to go to,
Exactly. That's that.
because
Yeah.
there's gonna be a time where it becomes a profit type thing.
Mm,
So it's really hard, which is one of the things that I love about ILC, is that we actually, when we do things, we know, we connect, we know who we are helping. You know what I'm saying? It's not some, anonymous person. We know exactly who we are helping. So when the money comes, we know where it's going. When the donation comes, we know where it's going. So, and even with that, trying to get grants for the school, trying to get things for the school has been extremely hard. We used to get grants from different places that now we're not able to get.
oh,
So, so when we have meetings, we had a board meeting recently where that was one of the big things. How do we keep ourselves afloat if there's no money? First of all, we're not paying anybody, so, and those kids are depending on what we're doing. We can't hire anybody to do the things that we want to do. We have somebody this lady who's amazing at writing grants and getting us grants, but every time we submit a grant, we don't get it.
mm,
So, so now we're trying to get smaller things, smaller companies. So it's a matter of making sure that if you are donating, know that the person that you are donating to has a direct connection. There's no in between.
okay.
There's no
No.
third party. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if you want to help somebody, know that whatever you're giving them is going to them directly.
Got
So I know that when I send my box, it's not going to a third party, it's going to the school, and from the school, the girls get it. I'm not sending it to an organization. I'm not doing any of that. So it's going to them because I'm in contact with them. I'm saying, okay, I'm sending it this day. You should get it by this day. And then this is what you need to do with it. And I'm like, I
Mm,
need pictures, I need videos. I want to make sure that the girls are getting the things that
Absolutely.
I'm sending. So it's making sure that you have a connection where you can keep track of what it is that you are doing. And which is one of the things that we are very passionate about, making sure that nobody else is getting benefited from what we're doing. It's going to the girls and to the school.
I love that.
Yeah.
What I would tell you is when it comes to like grants, I know a lot of companies, some people since COVID, there has been a lot of issues with grants. A lot of people
Yeah.
is not funding it. But one thing that I've learned with my nonprofit, I rather for them to donate things that we need. So, I'm not really big on, donating like money. I'm not that. So money is not my biggest thing as
Yeah.
far as like items, items that I can like put my hands on,
Yeah.
so we have a food pantry. So for them bringing, food, cookies, snack cakes, canned goods, those are things that we need. Water, juices, and stuff for the kids. So one thing that I would tell you, probably start looking into that type of things. That way, hey, because a lot of companies, they're not really giving money. But if I say, hey, can I get a donation of, like you said, pads? So reach out to these actual, who make pads? Always.
Always protect.
Right? I'm thinking like, who make pads, right? So these companies, these manufacturers that actually make them. And then there's I know in Walmart, I seen a section a few weeks ago where there's like a black owned pad company.
All
And
right.
then there was one for just like, it was something dealing with like, it was like a girl brand. But
Okay.
these branded companies reach out to them and say, hey, spit to your organization and let them know, I got this going on. I got 200 girls. Can you donate pads?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. When I need
Yeah.
donations, like right now, we're getting ready for our Christmas thing. Like we need certain things because
Yeah.
people will be easy to get rid of those things versus, hey, I need
Handing out money.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So
Okay, that makes sense. That makes
reach
sense.
out to those companies
Yeah.
and ask them, mouthwash, different stuff
Yeah.
like that, toothbrushes,
Yeah.
dentist
Yeah.
offices. Those are people
Mhm.
that will really donate to your organization.
Yeah. That's good, because I do want this to be an ongoing project. where it's not a one-time thing. It's something that we do,
All the time.
every few months, because especially for me, it's about the young girls who have not started their periods yet. So then for that, they'll be ready. They'll need to know,
Exactly. Yeah.
they need to have that, be educated and know how to take care of yourself,
Right.
and we try to talk to them about, keeping safe and, one of the things I said to them, we were sitting in a circle and I was like, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant. Because I said, if you're in this situation, you can't take care of yourself, why bring a kid into it? So I was
Absolutely.
trying to
Which
talk
makes
to them about
sense.
that, right? So I said, yeah, you don't have, it's like here, you don't have, there's no WIC, there's no welfare, there's none of that over there. So you might want to not, it's like if he's trying to talk to you, be like, yeah, I'm good. So don't get pregnant.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
That definitely makes sense. You're definitely going to have to drop your information in the comments or send it to us via
Yeah.
message so we can
Yeah.
send it out. I know that even through the school district, we
Yeah.
do fundraisers. My girls are getting ready to do a food drive right now. If
Yeah.
you need us to do any kind of donation drive,
Yeah.
that's good for my girls,
Yeah.
my girls at school to know that, okay, this is community service. There are other young women in a whole nother
Yes.
country that need your help. So just drop your info and
Yeah.
I definitely would be willing to host a drive through my
Yeah.
school and
Thank
through
you.
my step team, because that's something that is very important, not only to you, but to me as well. I tend to work with most of the kids or most of the young women at my school, the at-risk girls.
Yeah.
The girls that everyone looks sideways and the girls who, might fight a little bit, but it's because they have this kind of issue at home. So
Yeah.
I definitely would love to get my girls involved and we
Yeah.
can do a drive together or whatever the case may be to
Yeah.
get those necessary needs to those young ladies.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely send you a flyer, the flyer that I created. So that way it'll give you some information about MIAF and, so because we also have a Facebook page and the girls are so, they're doing so many things. Last weekend they had a makeup session where the girls came and they worked on makeup together. So, and that's something I encourage. I said every month, try to do something,
Something with
to encourage yourself. So this month I think it's the 3rd anniversary of MIAF. So then that's one of the reasons I wanted to do, the program. So it's mostly, they ask for, and I know I'm pretty sure candy would be a good thing for them too. Because when I went, I had candy and I was, those little bubble gums and I had a bag, because I was trying to pop my ears and I was passing. They're like, oh, what is that? I said gum, and they just passed it on. I said, I guess no more gum for me. So I think
kids love snacks,
right?
They love candy, chips, all of it. So yeah, that's
so
definitely
something like that. And the thing about it is, I'm trying to make sure that whatever we send is not too heavy. Pads are not very heavy. Snacks won't be very heavy. The crochet supplies won't be very heavy. And even with the books, I try to make it so very easy to read. Not so much. I want to say like 5th grade, 6th grade type books where they can read and follow along. And so, especially for my students, I encourage them to read. I encourage them to always listen to, songs in English, listen to whatever because when I do my class, we'll do a day where we watch a movie together. And I'll say, okay, write me a 300-word, a paper on what the movie was about. So they'll love that. Yeah, they'll love that. Because and each person has a different perspective. So it's kind of having them understand, what it is that they're reading or what it is that they're watching and listening to. So they love that. So yeah.
So you were nominated as one of the 100 most influential women of 2023. How does that feel?
Oh my goodness. I was like, be influential? What? It feels amazing. It feels extremely amazing. I am very, very honored. And especially when I see the other women, I was like, my people, yes. But it was definitely a great honor. I don't take it lightly because I feel like a lot of times, every time God gives you an opportunity for people to see who you are and what you are doing, it's like, okay, God, thank you.
Amen to that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think we were talking right before the show and we were both talking about how we get these opportunities and sometimes fear comes in and we doubt ourselves, but then we're like, I'm jumping on this opportunity.
Yes.
Even if nothing, I'll tell you this, even if nothing comes out of it, you've met so many people. And I think with Orphe, like I've been nominated for a couple things like over the years, you know, and it's was something else that goes along with it, right? And
Yes.
so with him, he just like popped in my, he sent me a friend request first. That's how it started. And I was like, oh no. Because I'm real particular about people that first of all, I was already at my limit of friends. So and I didn't even I saw we had some mutual friends, but I didn't even like go on his page or whatever. And so then soon as I accepted, it's like it was quick. He was in my inbox, and I was like, "Why is this picture in here?" He already had the fly, and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Who is this?" You know. And then he was like, "Somebody nominated you," and I was like, "It took me a moment because then I started investigating, like, okay, where this person come from? Like, you don't know me,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
right?" And so I think from that, you know, other people see it that's doing stuff, you know. And then some other lady from the UK the other day had sent me an inbox about nominating me for the magazine, and I was like, I don't even know nobody in the UK. First of all, I was like, thank you, but no, thank you, because I knew something because it had this big $1,500 price on here, and I was like, no. So that was a no. And then like the other day, so it's always good to it's network. You meet women, you all over, you know, you could build long-term relationships. So out of nothing else, you know, that's what I truly love about. And I don't accept every nomination that I'm in. I really don't, you know, because some of them I really kind of vet and see if it's a good thing. And just like I was telling Brandy, I think it's the year for us to walk in 2024. Like, I know you see us, okay?
Right. So I'm here.
Right. We are here.
Then he was like, because right when he did it, I think he was at the end of nominating. I was like, hey, you got room for one more person. And then he was like, yes, who? And then I told him, but then I thought he was going to talk to her that same day. And I had sent her a message. And then I'm just waiting. And I was like, hello.
Well, let me tell you, I don't check my inboxes often. And especially if it's a man in there, I usually just scroll right on by.
Right, a block.
But then I noticed that he was on your page, and I was like, well, let me look into this and see what's happening. He did the same thing, sent the flyer, and then you were like, girl, I was waiting for you to respond.
So long.
I was like, oh my God. But I am grateful for the nomination because it is something that is pushing each woman to network and move forward in whatever that they're doing and meet these women. I'm just grateful to have met you, Nadege, because how would I have known these things? Right. And how can I help you to encourage more young women and other women? That is the goal of Woman to Woman. And so this is a great opportunity for everyone. What is your definition of an influential woman?
You know, honestly, I feel that I never thought I was an influential woman. I grew up with women. Like my grandmother and my godmother raised me. And I have to say, they were very influential in my life because they didn't know how to read or write. And these women owned their own business. I remember being maybe 7 or 8 years old, you know, learning math. And so every Friday night, they would put me in a room with all of the week's money. And I had to sit and count and do piles of 1s and 5s and 10s and 20s. And then I had a notebook. I had to, you know, put that in. And I had to help her. You know, I remember holding her hand and helping her sign her name on papers after I read it to her and told her what it was. So that really fueled my passion for learning. You know, I love to read. I love, you know, I can never get enough schooling. My kids always say, Mom, every time you're bored, you get a degree. And I'm like, no. So, you know, so for me, being influenced is being able to help somebody see their greatness, see something in them that they didn't see, you know, because a lot of times women have seen things in me that I didn't see. So being an influential woman means for me that when I meet someone, I want to come alongside you and see what it is that you're not seeing about you. Because, you know, I also teach life groups. I've had the opportunity to teach life groups with my churches. And I did a study on Psalm 139, you know, where the Bible says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And what does that mean? You know, it means that you were created for greatness. And a lot of times, like we say, we allow fear, like I did, you know, and now I'm at the stage where I feel like, oh my gosh, I let so much time go by because I was afraid of things I'm not going to be afraid anymore. If I fall on my face, so be it, but I tried,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
So for
Exactly.
me, it's about helping somebody say, you were not created with a spirit of fear. What is that? If you could give birth, hello, what else could you do? Because
Yes.
that is the
Yeah.
hardest thing a woman will ever do. Right? And some do it without
Correct.
drugs. Not this one, but some do. So,
Correct.
it's a matter of just being able to help somebody see. Because look, if I tell somebody, I say this, I'm not, I came I came far. So if I can be considered influential, what can you be considered as? So you have
Yes.
to take an example. And that's why I say, women, we have to encourage one another. We are not in competition.
Mm-mm.
You're my sister. If you're doing great, I was like, yes, look at my sister go. Okay, we have to kind of be each other's cheerleader. Because you know what? When you look at men, in sports or whatever they're doing, they're high-fiving each other, they're patting each
Oh
other in the
yeah.
back and doing all of this.
Yes.
And here we are. Who does she think she is? She thinks she's all that. Well. You know what I mean? So we have to stop doing that and encourage one another. I said, you know what, you got something going on? How can I support? You
Right.
have some,
I love
how
it.
can I help? So that way, that is influential. When you put yourself in a position where I will be there for my sister, I will support my sister because it's not about me. Because when you
Exactly.
win, I win. Together, when we win, we are a
Win
powerful force.
together.
And I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
when we get up and we raise our voice and say, no, this is what it's gonna be. It changes
Yes.
things because women change it from. If you look in the Bible, women were the
We
one
we're
doing it,
all in there. Okay, we're
right?
all up and through there, and we have
Right?
done so many things in the Bible, and
Thank
that's
you.
I
It's
just did
it's,
a
it's
Proverbs
crazy.
year study on the influence of women, what women have done in the Bible. And if
Yes.
we really look into the Bible, Jesus, he had his disciples, but
Yes.
those women that
Mm.
minister to him,
Hmm. Yes.
I'm
And took
just
care of
saying,
him and did all
took
that.
care
And
of
then
him.
if you look at it, when God was getting Mary, sending Jesus to Mary, he didn't go to Joseph. He sent the angels to Mary. He's like, hey, we're gonna get you pregnant. He didn't say, hey, by the way, I'm gonna get your girl pregnant. He's like, no, you know what I'm saying? So
Going
when
to
you
the
look,
source,
right, he went to the
Yeah.
source. So we are the source because that's why we are the carrier of life. So we need to stop being afraid. I have a daughter, and she is in college. She's doing her thing, and I'm always pushing her. And I'm telling you, this girl, she is the best thing since sliced bread, and she knows it. So I'm encouraging her to be everything that I didn't get a chance to be.
Right.
Because I never had I grew up hearing, oh, you're never going to do this. You're never going to have that. You're never going to. And I had to break out of that because it took me such a long time to break out of it. I have to constantly remind myself, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when I see my daughter say to me, should I do? I said, listen, girl, you better go and do it. If it doesn't work out, hey, it doesn't work out. You try. But that doesn't mean you give up. You keep trying and you keep trying because if I gave up, I wouldn't be where I am today. I
Right.
wouldn't have accomplished the things that I've accomplished. I wouldn't have been able to speak the language because I'd been like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to learn it. So you have to get yourself in a space where not only are you influencing others, but you're also influencing yourself
Right. You
because
got
you
to
are your first source. And when you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror. I tell you, I mean, I have moments when I say, oh, girl, you look good, and you have to have those moments of saying,
You
oh, yeah,
do.
I'm rocking these jeans. It's like,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Oh,
You do.
So,
You got
yeah,
to be your own cheerleader.
you
Sometimes
really
you have
do.
to be.
yeah,
I listen to that Mary J. Blige song in the morning time.
right?
That gets me pumped up because a lot of times. Yesterday is my first day putting on lashes in like over a week. Like so, it's like now I'm just to the point. If I get up, that's the
Mhm.
whole point. If I get up, let
Get
me
up.
get up, and then hey, every day is by itself. I have a
Mhm.
very long, draining job. So this
Yes.
week. I
Mhm.
probably got about 6 hours of sleep, like for the whole week. So I'm
Mm.
like, it took me for it was because my daughter's birthday was yesterday. But other than that, girl, this hair was in a ponytail. I didn't have no makeup on, no lashes on. But hey, I still got to show up. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So my
Yes.
voice,
Exactly.
so you know how I look when I make myself up. Like, so, yeah. So sometimes you got to be your biggest cheerleader. Absolutely, I do
That's
You
definitely
so
agree with
true.
do. You definitely
That's
do.
so true. Yes.
I'm
that.
very grateful that you appeared on our show tonight
Thank
and
Okay.
you.
shared all of the jewels that you dropped because you dropped some jewels. tonight.
Thank
You
you.
are an influential woman.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm grateful to have you on the show. Is there
Yes.
anything else you want to leave with us? Nikki, do you want to leave us with anything or?
I want her to be able to give us your social media handles, how people can reach out to you, and definitely just, kind of connect with you to see what you have going on, and then how we can support you as well.
Absolutely. So I love to cook. So I am.
You love to eat.
I absolutely love to cook. Cooking is my therapy.
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram page.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, my kids are always challenging me to like, Mom, can you make this? I was like, I don't get back down to a challenge. So I have my cooking is called Creole Spice Cuisine because I'm Creole. And that's with a K. So Creole Spice Cuisine is my Instagram. So follow me. That's where I post. So the next plan is to try to post videos because people are saying, oh, we want to see videos. It's hard to cook and videotape at the same time. So we got to figure it out. I think I have to bribe my son. Food is his love language. So I probably have to bribe him to help me with that.
Well, I can definitely show you. I had a cooking show. And honestly, I went on my Burning with B YouTube and people have been watching my cooking and I'm like, what? So you have a friend in me. If you need help with creating videos and cooking videos, I can show you how to do that. I can show you how to edit them because I love to eat. Okay.
Oh, so you know what? That will be your payment.
I love to cook, but I also love to eat.
Right.
I will feed you because I think that my cooking is has a lot of Haitian infusion because that's my background, and so whatever I cook, there's some part of my culture, and I love to cook and have because our food is rich in history. So when I cook, there's a history behind it. So for example, when we make squash soup. A lot of people don't realize that squash soup is our Independence Day soup because our Independence Day is January 1st. Okay. So when everybody's eating, black eyed peas, we drink it soup. It's called So, it's a soup that's got like beef bones and spaghetti, pasta. It has potatoes, carrots, cabbage. I mean, it's like a whole thing. And, we make a big pot of it New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve morning. I mean, New Year's Day, you drink it all day. So that's
okay. Are you coming to the Friendsgiving?
Well, I'm having actually. I'm gonna be cooking. So I'm making because we don't have Thanksgiving in Haiti. That's not one of our holidays, obviously. But I have Haitianized Thanksgiving. So I do make a turkey, but everything else is a dish that we would eat in Haiti. So I cook the black mushroom rice, which is called Julie Jonjon. So it's a rice that is infused with hydrated mushroom that they pick. It's very expensive. It's almost like a truffle, and you soak it in water, and then you use the juice to turn your rice black, and it's got a great flavor. It's amazing. So we do that, and so I just create little dishes. So it's my kids always, and my mom who makes a macaroni. She makes the French macaroni. It's called macaroni au gratin. It doesn't have cheese. It's made with a bechamel sauce. It is absolutely.
With what kind of sauce?
What kind of sauce?
It's called bechamel. So it's basically milk-based bechamel sauce.
Is it milk-based?
It is. It is milk-based. It's made with butter, milk. My mom, I've made it, and according to my daughter, my mom makes it better. So when she comes, she makes it, and she makes several other pans that we freeze. And every time we need it, we just pop it in the oven. It is absolutely delicious.
So what makes it stick together, though?
Yeah,
it's the sauce. So the sauce has got like so the way my mom does it, she sautés onions and butter, and then she puts flour. So it's almost like a roux.
Oh, like a roux. Okay.
But it's not brown. It's a white creamy sauce.
Okay.
And then you put it in the macaroni, and then you have butter. The only cheese on it is the grated Parmesan cheese on top. And then she bakes it. And when it comes out, listen, one time I had one I was defrosting in the fridge, and I came home, half of it was eaten. And my son did not realize that it had not been baked yet.
You have to bake it first.
That's how good it is.
It's just that good, okay?
So yeah. So I come from a long line of women who can cook. So yeah, so I make Haitian patties. They have Jamaican patties. We have Haitian patties.
Love Jamaican patties. So if you have a Haitian patty, I'm down with it.
We'll fix that. We'll fix that because I make those.
Down with that.
So I make all kinds of stuff, and And so, we have fritai, like on a Friday night in Haiti, you don't cook. We have fritai. Fritai is basically fried pork, fried plantain, and you have, all kinds of little goodies next to it. And we have pickles, which is a spicy coleslaw. That is just amazing. If you cook in your house and you invite a Haitian, you don't have pickles, don't invite them over because
bring it with you.
Right. Bring it with you. I saw a video on Instagram where a guy said he was cussing out the restaurant because they were being cheap with pickles. So we are very serious about our food. Haitians are.
I'm not
very serious, and because when we cook, So so that's like my side love passion. I do cook for people. If you're having like a girls' night, or because recently I did a bachelor, like a groomsmen and bridesmaids brunch where I cooked for them.
Also, you cater as well.
I do small because I work and I have so much going on. So I try to do small scale stuff, 20 or less. So, and I also have another thing that I do is called Cooking with Dej, where actually, if you want to learn how to cook, I will come to your house and teach you how to make Haitian food and prepare the meal with you. So
look, I got a restaurant, girl. We can have a whole night. We can invite a bunch of women over.
I'm just saying, like, you want to do that,
we can do it. And you know what? I can put some Haitian music on, and I'll teach you guys how to do the compa. And then I'll bring you some Haitian rum.
With it.
Listen, by the time you do the Haitian rum, you're gonna be saying "sac passe" before the end of the night.
Now, what does that mean before I say it?
Okay.
What's up? It says "sac passe." It's like what's
up?
What's
that?
Wow.
So when you say Haitian, like "sac passe," when that rum hits, you start speaking Creole. Be like, wait, I didn't know I knew this language. Yes, you
look. When I'm in Jamaica and I drink the Jamaican rum, I start speaking patois.
You start speaking patois.
What happened?
That's what we do. We put it all together. So the music, the food, the drink, it's a wrap.
Wow. I know it's a huge Haitian culture in Ohio because my daughter, she lives in Ohio, and she was saying, Mom, like all my neighbors are Haitian. So like in their little area that they're in, she's in Springfield. Yes. And she said a lot of Haitian. Actually, my sister-in-law just rented her house out to some people that just came from Haiti. Yeah, so it's like, okay.
I haven't seen too many Haitians here in Texas.
I haven't
either. Yeah, so if you want to, if your restaurant wants to do a Haitian night, let me know. We can just,
that's something we need to put that together. Put that on our calendar.
Let me tell you, I will be there.
And I will put an apron on you.
What time?
Right? I think we do need to have a woman to woman culture night. Yeah,
I feel like that would be awesome to have something like that, and you teach us how to make the dishes. I absolutely love. I know Nikki loves to try out dishes. She has a whole restaurant. I love to just cook in my kitchen. I love trying out recipes, especially different new culture recipes. I love to eat, so there's that.
I do too, and that's why I cook. I love to eat, and sometimes I'll say to my kids, "Let's go out to eat." I was like, "Why? You can make it." I was like, "But I just want somebody else to cook." They're not interested in that. They want me to cook. So,
are there Haitian restaurants here?
No, I don't think so. I mean, even honestly, I don't even think there's some real Jamaican restaurants out here because I've gone to a Haitian. But my best friend in high school, I grew up eating Jamaican food. So I was like, no, why is my
so the ones that I'm going to, because there's one on West Little York that's been around for a while that's Jamaican. I mean, is that not real? I mean, the people back there, they are Jamaican. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's on West Little York, and the food is delicious. It tastes authentic and everything.
Yes, I mean,
it's not very many out here.
No, I mean, what happens is a lot of time people will come to the U.S. and they will dumb down the culture and the food because they want other people to try it. I was like, why? If I'm cooking Haitian food, I'm cooking it the way
I want the original.
Right? Exactly. Right. Like I have a friend of mine when she comes to my house and I say, "Oh, do you want me to make?" She's like, "No, I need you to cook some Haitian food, something you would eat, and then tell me what I'm eating."
Yeah,
and then I would tell her like my mom when my mom comes and I said my mom is coming. She's like, "Oh, okay, Miss Marie's coming," so she'll come and my mom will tell her the story behind the food, and she loves that. So I feel like a lot of people need to have that actual story behind the food and why they're eating it and why we make it, and because everything we make, like we make cremas, which is a coconut rum type thing, a liquor, and they usually serve it at weddings and stuff like that. So actually, I have an older lady in Boston that she's my supplier. So I always say, "Mommy, can you send me a couple of bottles because it's so good and it has alcohol in it." Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
We
usually
like
done right. It's
We
usually
like
done
that
around
too.
the holidays. So yeah, so it's like, we have to explain to people, why do we do that? Because it's like our own thing, and they serve it at weddings, communion, baptism. So it's a very when you drink that, it's a special occasion. So I have half of a bottle here, so I need to call my supplier soon because Christmas is coming. So,
Gotcha. Oh,
yeah.
this has been amazing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely. We're gonna have to get together and definitely have a night out and have you come out and teach the ladies. Like with us, we just eat, girl. We ain't got no history behind it. We be so hungry. We look, listen, this is chicken, rice, beans. Hey, we just eat. But yeah, it's always good to, experience another culture. I love the dynamic that Archie is putting together with a lot of women from all over. And so you being the first guest, we're going to share with everyone else, but we definitely appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your experience, sharing, what you went through from growing up. And so, how you got here now and actually raising your kids. So we definitely appreciate you for coming on. Also, make sure that, are we all friends on Facebook? Are you friends with us on Facebook?
I'm friends.
I'm friends with Brandy. Yes.
Okay. I'll add you that way on our last post, the one Brandy posted. Drop all your handles in there. That way we can actually share with our audience as well.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Will do. And I'll also put the nonprofit information on there as well.
Absolutely.
Right, perfect.
Thank you, ladies. This was fun. I was a
Thank you.
little nervous. I was like, I don't know what to expect, but this was fun.
We'll have to do it again. I'll definitely have you back. And since you live very close to me, I'll text you and we can possibly hang out as well.
I would love that. You can come over and then I will Haitianize you because I do that.
I'm coming.
It is like my daughter wants to have world domination with pink. My world domination is that everyone I meet will become a Haitian.
I'm down with it.
Okay.
Look, I am down with it.
We love different.
I love it. You ladies have an awesome weekend.
Yes.
Whatever you have planned. I'm childless this weekend, so
yay. What is mommy to do?
Right. Look, not be outside because it's cold.
Right?
I won't be outside, but I'll be minding my business and hydrating.
Right?
Yes, and catching up on sleep. I see you.
Yes, I will.
Right? All right, ladies, y'all have a great weekend. And I'll send you a friend request too.
Yes, perfect. Looking forward to it. Thank you, ladies.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.